Hey everybody, I'm back. Sorry I had to take a week off. I traveled to Europe and then I had one video that went out while I was there, but then I didn't have time to make one when I came back because I just needed some time to recover. Sorry. All in all, I probably will try and get one video out every week or so. It'll be 2 or 3 weeks every once in a while though, so sorry guys. I only have, so many threads I can devote to things. Anyhow, right into it. Today we're going to talk about these. And the astute of you may know that these are the One More Triple Driver in-ears. Now they have a big brother now. We'll talk about that later. They also come in two color schemes, a gold and kind of silvery gold, and then a silver and silvery goldy gray. For some reason, that color scheme is actually $10 more expensive than this color scheme currently, because on Amazon these are about $70 and the others are about $80. I think these look better. These have the same thing where they also have the other color scheme, which is this color scheme, but I think it looks better like that on those and like this on these. So, whatever. That's an opinion. You can disagree with me. Maybe I'm crazy. The other more astute of you might notice that I have two different sized tips on these because my ears are weird. And yeah. So we'll get to how they sound. Let's first start off with what you are presented with. This is the box, and this is a very One More box. If any of you have ever had One More stuff, you will know that this is what One More looks like. It's a very nice box. Like, they have presentation down to an art at this point. It looks like a book. Like, that's what it's meant to look like. Nice little metal clasp. It is a magnetized case. So that's cool. You open it up and it looks like an artist or an artisan from the Renaissance designed your whole setup for you. They came in and did math and drawings, and you see this whole process, and that's a nice touch. Then you get this. You are presented with your headphones sitting here. The nicest airplane adapter I have ever received. Wow. Get out of the box. The nicest airplane adapter I've ever seen on anything, really. I mean, it's gold and metal, and it's not just some crappy plastic thing. So that's cool to have. You get a very nice box. Like, this is a nice leather. It's magnetized. It says One More on it. It's plenty of room to put your headphones in there. Very nice, very soft. It's stitched in red, like it reminds me of like a sports car interior. Very, very nice touch. Very good carrying case. Very sturdy. A little One More clip that you can use, if I can get it out, that you can take around and hold your clip, your dangling wires to your shirt if you really want to. I've never used it, but you have it. And you get a pretty good assortment of different tips. It comes with these two tips, standard. These are very generic, kind of rubberized, but fairly comfortable. Sitting somewhere right around probably 13 mil would be my guess, about 13 mil. That's a guess. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of rubber and 3 sets of foam. I'm using 2 different foam because I think foam is a little more comfortable. Oh, you also get one more sticker. That's kind of cool. Nice little, advertisement. Some more guides and whatnot. Standard fare. Get a little water here. So good. So that's all fine and dandy. You get plenty of customization, and they're very comfortable once you get the correct ear setup for you. You could, of course, replace them with more expensive tips, like something from, Comply, or I think Deconi makes some. Let's get back to these. They have a very nice cable of a pretty good length, actually. It's good for a desk, but perfect for portable. It does not come with a 1/4-inch adapter, but that's fine, because it really is meant to be portable. I mean, it'd be nice to have it, but I understand why they didn't do it. It's got a pretty nice metal split that has like this. You can feel the machining, like it's kind of like ribbed around the edge. It's kind of cool. It kind of has this matte feel to it now. You get a little speaker dongle with volume up and down and mic mute, which I've never used myself, but you have it, which I guess is pretty good to have considering that these are really meant to be on a phone. And then these are gorgeous. Like, actually gorgeous. They're so small, really. Like, even compared, like, there are some audiophile IEMs that get really, really big, all things considered. These are still nice and small. Very well built. I'm not concerned. They're light, but you feel a little bit of weight to them, like they're built with quality. Nice, big openings there, though, in their little tube chamber. These are triple drivered, so they have a normal dynamic driver and then 2 armature drivers, I believe they're called. I get words mixed up in my head sometimes, but they are very well built, very sturdy. They sit comfortably in your ears and don't weigh anything, so you basically don't notice them. These wires right here are a little more rubbery, plasticky, which I don't like as much, but I can deal with it. So let's get to how they sound. Not hard to drive, obviously, because they're IEMs. They can be driven off of any phone. That's kind of the purpose of them. But putting them on an amp doesn't hurt. They actually can take some power. I wouldn't do high gain, especially on anything that has any power to it. Like a shit kind of has a decent amount of power for its size. But you can, I have it on low gain. I get it to about 9, 10 o'clock, and I can get some decent volume out of it. I could probably even get to 11 o'clock and not die or break the headphones. So that's good to know. They do respond well to power, but they don't need it. They do not have any soundstage, really. They're not particularly wide. They do, though, have that kind of distinct IEM, very in-your-brain sensation that you get. That's really hard to describe, and you really don't get the same thing, definitely out of speakers, and not even really out of headphones. These are just... because the sound is really coming from, millimeters away from your ear holes, directly right next to your eardrums. People's voices and phenomena happen really inside your head, which is sometimes a little hard to wrap your head around. It feels a little weird, but it is also super cool, and it's very, very good for singular speakers. So like solo music is very, very good. There is enough soundstage for an IEM. Like, it does go beyond your head, just not as wide as you would get with real headphones, larger headphones, more traditional. Imaging is pretty good. Not spectacular, but pretty good. It does image better than I anticipated them to. But the sound signature on these is pretty neutral, I would say, actually. I was kind of expecting them to be more either high-centric or low-centric. Really, that's kind of what I expect out of IEMs. A lot of IEMs would go very bass heavy, or a lot, I would say even more, go kind of treble heavy. These are surprisingly neutral for what you get. The female vocals are not angelic, but they're very nice. Male vocals, which kind of reside more towards the high mids, sound very clear and very full. And then bass response is not the fastest, heaviest, but it's still very fun and responsive. It definitely, I wouldn't say these like kick ass at it, but you're not going to be disappointed with your bass response. So all in all, the sound, I would say, is pretty flat. I mean, it might be a little more high centered, maybe by like 1% or 2, and that's just my opinion. Again, everything is my opinion, so whatever. But all in all, I would say these don't offend anybody. If you like bass, you'll get decent fun out of these. If you like angelic highs, you probably won't get angelic, but you'll get very nice. And you get a very nice, creamy middle. Very, very smooth audio across the whole spectrum. So I'm very proud of these headphones. Considering their price, I would say these are probably the IEMs to get, really. I mean, these are what you should be. Like, this should be the baseline of what good portable sound should be. Because these are super easy to take around with you. They're also relatively cheap. $70 is pretty cheap for headphones that sound this good. Like, I don't think I can think of anything, or at least very little, that sounds this good at this price. These have a bigger brother in the IEM world too, which are the quad drivers, and I haven't heard those yet, but I've heard good things. I hope to get a pair and tell you what I think. But from what I know of IEMs and portable audio, at this price point, which is shockingly low, like honestly shockingly low, like really low, for the presentation you get, the accessories you get, the build quality you get, and the very solid and very beautiful audio response you get out of these, I can't think of much that even competes, let alone beats these. $70 will get you started in audio basically on your phone. You don't need to buy an amp or anything to get good audio out of these. These will, if you're rocking like dollar store earbuds and you've socked away $70 and you were hoping to get other headphones, like something more expensive, you could stop trying really right now. If you want to just get into a more entry level and just find out, these are your best bet, because these are rock solid sounding, rock solid build, rock solid accessory package. You will feel special with these, and you will understand what audio is all of a sudden, or what it can be. You will be presented with a much better world than dollar store earbuds. I have no complaints about these, and I think every person watching this should buy a pair if they can. These replace, Sennheiser HD600s? No. These are not the most amazing things I've ever heard. That would be an exaggeration. But for the price point, there's very little, especially in portable audio, that beats these. There are Porta Pros, and there's those other costs, KS75s. Those can probably are high. Both of those are probably better value than these, because those are much cheaper and still very good. That said, though, you don't get the build. You don't get the presentation. You don't get that feeling. Like when I got that box, when I look at these feel high quality. Those don't. Those other two don't. And even if they are a better price of performance than these are still a very good value and make you feel more special than those do. So these have my wholehearted recommendation.